I am John Horan. I am the oral historian for the State Archives of North Carolina. What that means is I interview people and get their stories and add them to the collection and add them to the record of the state. From a young age, I knew I wanted to do something in history. My grandfather and I would just spend all day talking about different historical things. He really encouraged me to question historical narratives. There's an easy narrative that's out there, and there's a lot more nuance in it, and he really taught me that. Got a master's in history with museum studies specialization, and in there really figured out that oral history was the niche I wanted to live in. I like to research, but I don't want to just sit in the archives and research. I want to do that and talk to people. So how do I combine those two? Interviews. To really work in this job, you got to be outgoing, you got to be interested in people, and not just able to talk to people, but able to listen to people. You have to be able to listen to what they're saying and then ask the right question, the right follow-up question to make sure that what they're saying is really blossoming. Everyday skills that I use in my job are organizing, because you got a lot of schedules for a lot of people. You've got to be sure to keep track of various projects. There's different ways of asking questions and being prepared. If you just go in and expect people to talk, that's not really how it goes. You have to have a set of questions, you have to have a set of themes that you want to explore with somebody, and you have to know who you're talking to in order to have the right set of themes. There's different types of interviewing, and what oral history does is trying to get a certain set of questions answered across a wide number of people so that we can have multiple data sets talking about one thing. If you want to do an interview as a journalist, you ask questions because you want to get maybe a scoop. You want to get something new that nobody's ever heard of before. That's not my goal. My goal is to fill out a historical record. And so it could be things that everybody knows about, but not everybody knows about it from this particular perspective. You can have a number of memories. They might not all match up. The overlaps, that's where the history's happening. This interview is being conducted for the COVID-19 Government Employee Oral History Project. My favorite part about this job is listening to people. Everybody's got such an interesting story to tell. Who's a better expert on one's life than that person? It's nobody. So to hear them tell their stories, it's just amazing to me to be able to listen and learn from so many different perspectives. People talk about traveling and that opening up their horizons. Well, I get to travel every day when I talk to somebody, and then take all of that and add it to a record so that other people can listen and experience the same joy that I experienced. Really, the most interesting thing to me about this job is at the end of an interview, somebody coming to me and saying, "I really loved talking to you. I haven't thought about these memories in a long time, and I'm glad to have shared, and now I'm happy that somebody else is going to listen to them." I am a people person. I need to be interacting with people all the time. So when it comes to staring at the computer screen, my least favorite part about this job is it's definitely the cataloging. It needs to be done. That's how access happens. That's how I translate the joy that I get when I listen to somebody talk to somebody else getting to listen to somebody talk. We have a project right now that's a collection, and it's state government employees and how they've interacted with COVID-19 over the last couple of years. The other major collection we're looking at right now is school integration and desegregation. Brown versus Board of Education happens in 1954. The state of North Carolina doesn't really integrate until the 70s. That's like 20 years, and there are people who are trying in those 20 years, and so I wanted to get their story onto the record. Having these specific parameters makes it a collection. And cataloging it makes it that all of the stuff I just shared with you is searchable by somebody else. One thing I really want people to know about this job is that it's not impossible for anybody to do oral history. I've encouraged people to go out and interview people in their family. That's really something anybody can do. Tenacity, research, and creativity really go a long way in trying to do oral history work. All of these things are valuable in the pursuit we're trying to do, and that is to understand where we've been so we can make decisions on where we're going.